Okay, Ashley, the Daily News. Would you start reading, please?
Okay. It's all in the mind. I was in the pharmacy the other day when I noticed a campaign for a new wonder tablet for people who wanted to lose weight. A rather chubby gentleman was standing next to his skinny wife. He picked up one of the bottles. "They are not cheap," he said, showing the bottle to his wife. "How much do they cost?" asked the wife. $150, but they are worth it if they work. The wife looked skeptical. "Do you think you take them with water?" continued the man. The wife shook her head and replied, "No, I think you should take them with a pinch of salt."
What did she mean by that, a pinch of salt?
I have no idea.
You've no idea? You don't know that expression?
No.
To take something with a pinch of salt?
Not sure.
It means that you don't believe what they're saying. In the old days, you'd take a pinch of salt and throw it over your shoulder as a safeguard against somebody lying or something not being true, a superstition. So that's what they're saying here.
Oh.
Will you read the next one?
Okay. False identity. My neighbor asked me to help her by going to the hospital to pick up her grandfather and save him the bother of taking 2 buses to her house. She described him as rather elderly, gray-haired, wearing glasses and slightly stooped. He would be waiting for me outside the ward. She also explained that her grandfather was quite confused and that I would have to insist that he left with me. When I entered the hospital, I saw the man she described to me talking to a nurse. I took his arm firmly in my grip. "I've come to take you home," I said. The nurse was horrified. "That's not a patient," she said. "It's the specialist consultant."
Mm-hmm. Well, some of these people are quite old. Can you turn your books over, please? Now I'm going to read for you, but this time I'm going to make a mistake. And as soon as you hear a mistake, I want you to bang on the table, all right?
Okay.
Try my
Let's
best.
see who gets it first. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to read the one called False Identity. My mother asked me to... No? Yes?
My friend.
No. My neighbour, 1 point to you because he got it wrong. My neighbour asked me to help her by going to the clinic to pick up... Yes?
Hospital?
Mm-hmm. My neighbour asked me to help her by going to the hospital to pick up her grandfather and save him the bother of taking 2 taxis.
Buses.
Buses!
Wow.
My neighbour asked me to help her by going to the hospital to pick up her grandfather and save him the bother of taking 2 buses to her school. She described him...
Her home?
Home?
No.
House?
House. Oh. My neighbour asked me to help her by going to the hospital to pick up her grandfather and save him the bother of taking 2 buses to her house. She described him as rather young, grey-haired...
Elderly.
Mm-hmm. Rather elderly, grey-haired, wearing glasses and slightly drunk.
Stooped.
Stooped. She described him as rather elderly, grey-haired, wearing glasses and slightly stooped. He would be waiting for me outside the ward. No, that was right. Outside the ward. She also explained that her grandfather was quite confused and that I would have to insist that he left with me. When I entered the hospital, I saw that the woman she had described to me...
Man.
Man. Excellent. All right, very good. That's all for today. Okay?
Okay.
All right.